So today's video is about fixing a smokestack, and kind of a unique scenario I had with this particular engine where while it's not uncommon to have a Franklin with a broken smokestack, this one had some missing plastic around the base of it. It was kind of a mess. Hello again, and welcome back to another edition of Austin's American Flyer, where today we're going to take a look at the number 88, commonly called the Franklin. It's a 440 made by American Flyer in 1960. My grandpa's train recently did an amazing video on how to refurbish one of these, so if you haven't had a chance to see that, please check that out. I had a project that I needed to do with the Franklin, and after watching his video, I was like, it's time. So here we go, a repair on a number 88 Franklin, today on Austin's American Flyer. As you can see, a couple things that are obvious. It's missing the label here. It's got this little bit of a paint damage here, but I'm probably just going to put the replacement label over that. I don't want to mess with the paint, nor would I have the right color, so there's that. The other challenge I have is the chimney is broken, and someone in the past had re-glued it, which I certainly get that, but somehow there was a little bit of damage done when the chimney was broken off, I imagine. Okay, for starters, let's take a look at the chimney bottom here. You can see what that looks like. It's a little bit chewed up, and if I put this on and spin it just the right way, it kind of finds the happy space where it had been, and that side doesn't look terrible. But if we spin this around, and again, if I can get this to focus, you can see we've got a little bit of a gap here, and it doesn't impact the performance of the engine, but it doesn't look very good, and there's not a whole lot I can do. I can pivot this a little bit. I guess that's probably more in line with how it should be, but there's still some ugliness there. So here's an attempt I came up with to hopefully clean this up a little bit. I went in and I use a CAD program, and I drew up, I just call them a collar, and as you can see, they've got a little bit of a bevel on each side, and the idea is that it fits down over the boiler and in a sense kind of covers that ugliness. And so now I'm gonna go ahead and try one of these on. I did two different prints here with different angles because it's a little bit challenging to get the right compound angle. So here is the collar, and I had to do some test fitting and some modifying of it to kind of try to get it to sit a little better. And as you can see, this side still isn't quite where I'd like to see it, but what I discovered is even though my collar was made symmetrical, the repair that it's trying to make is not symmetrical. So it's super custom, but I'm going to go ahead and put the stack in now, and I guess the question is this an improvement or is it not? So here's what it looks like with the stack in place. And again, as you can see, it's not perfect. So I would need to do a little bit of filling, but it seems like maybe this would work. Well, here we are with the, what I'm going to say, completed Franklin. Um, there are times when doing repairs, especially uh, non-essential repairs, that I reach a point where I'm just like, it's just going to have to be good enough. The obsessive side kind of kicks in. I want something to be perfect, and you know, the amount of effort required to make that happen in some cases is more than is reasonable. And that's kind of what happened here. You can see my repair is certainly not perfect. I found some pretty good challenges with trying to figure out a good way to clean up my patch job because of the various angles there. And I spent quite a bit of time sanding, and yet it still doesn't look perfect. So I'm kind of gonna just cut the losses and say it's gonna have to be good enough. But just again to recap, had some fracturing that happened around the smokestack base. Some plastic was missing. I catted a, what I'm going to call a collar, put some convex angles or arches on either side that fit over the boiler. But even with the pre-arches, I still had filling and a little bit of sanding and some cutting to do. It was a real custom kind of thing. And at the end of the day, it's just going to have to be good enough. And so here it is. I also reapplied a replacement sticker here on the side. I think that looks okay. I did a lot of cleaning and polishing over the side gear, and I think that looks really nice. Something about shiny side gear that looks so sweet. And just like what you saw with my grandpa's training video and how noisy his engine was like this, it is really amazing what a little bit of lubrication will do to these to quiet them down. This one is really quieted down from where it had been. The only other thing that I kind of overdid is putting oil in the smoke unit. I think I put way too much. So anyhow, it smokes a little bit and spurts smoke fluid all over the place a little bit too. So. But other than that, I think we are ready to get this thing back on the rails and enjoy it doing what Flyer created it to do, and that's run around a train layout. Well, thanks again for tuning in today. I hope you found this interesting and possibly helpful if you have a similar situation with an engine. Um, I know that there are those of you that have done repairs and modifications, and so if you have some comments on what you've done or suggestions you would have, feel free to leave those. I am not an expert when it comes to these types of repairs. And as I mentioned at one point, I just had to say enough is enough. It's going to have to be good enough. And I don't know, is that normal, or do some of you ever get to that point, or did I throw the flag in too soon? I don't know. Until next time, take care of yourselves. God bless. Enjoy your American Flyer trains, and we'll see you. Bye bye.